Hey guys, welcome back to another review and video. Today I want to talk about the Maison Margiela German Army Trainers, or GATs, or replicas, a shoe with many names. Before I get into the review, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me know if you guys are liking this type of content, this type of review, things like that. Shoe probably doesn't need a lot of introduction. I think most of you probably know what it is, but just in case you don't, it's a shoe from Maison Margiela. It is based on the German Army Trainers from, and I looked this up, the 1970s. I was a little worried at one point, like, what German army are we talking about here? But yeah, no, the original shoe was designed in the 70s for the German army by the Dassler brothers of the Adidas fame. And that's why it's pronounced Adidas. Another Adolf. Suspicious. Yeah, the shoe was first introduced in 99, I believe, and it's really kind of maintained its status as this sort of go-to fashion conscious but still kind of can work in any environment shoe. In fact, I've actually seen a really recent surge in popularity in the GATs. Like if you ever check out the Margiela subreddit, everyone's still kind of obsessed with it. Actually, the whole place has kind of just turned into one big giant legit check sub for GATs. But it's kind of interesting to me because I'm just noticing I have a stain on there. These are worn, obviously, game worn. It's kind of interesting to me because when, my brother who got me into fashion, I distinctly remember him dragging us around New York City to pick up a pair of these. And it was these and the Common Project's Achilles Low, which were kind of like the MFA or the Style Forum classics back in like 15 years ago, something like that. And what's funny is I feel like the Achilles Low has fallen out of favor and the GATs are still more popular than ever, but they occupy the same space in my head of like a if you know type of shoe. And I think along with that, both the Common Project's Achilles and the GATs have their fair share of admirers and copiers. Most famously, Adidas has a German Army Trainer version. So I'll try and link those in the description below in case you're interested in checking them out. But yeah, I mean, I only picked this shoe up 1 or 2 years ago, I think, and I have a pretty heavy shoe rotation, so while they are worn, I don't wear them all the time. They are suede, and I like to baby my shoes a little bit, so I never wear them if it's raining or if I'm going to be in some place where it's muddy, something like that. I will say, they have a nice gum sole that you can see that makes it so that if you are going to wear them somewhere where there's a little bit of dirt and mud or whatever, like, it's probably going to be okay. God, have I even worn these out? Like, I've probably worn them out 15 times, let's say. But they still look pretty good, all things considered, considering they have a lot going against them. I mean, suede, light suede, and, a white sneaker shoe are going to pick up dirt and grime kind of wherever you go. I will say, I think maybe it's this one. Yeah, there's a couple spots where you're just going to get something like this right here. That's probably just from driving, I think. You'll just clip stuff with your shoe and you're going to get some scuffs on them. And you're going to get a little bit of bleed from just like denim or whatever you're wearing at the time. But it kind of depends on what look you're going for. Like I've seen a lot of people wear these like absolutely cooked and I still think they look good. I just prefer to keep things clean, especially if I spend a lot of money on them. These weren't terrible as I recall. But yeah, I mean, I think if you're going to get these and you want to keep them at least somewhat clean, make sure you invest in a good like suede eraser kit, a suede cleaning kit. Generally speaking, that's like a little eraser nub thing and then like a little brush that you kind of brush along it. And it generally will get stuff out, but they're just be careful with them. Yeah, so I mean, in terms of features of the shoe, I mean, you've got the classic Margiela numbers up there, which I'm not smart enough to remember exactly what they mean, but I think they correspond with like the type of item it is. Like if it's a sweater, it'll be an 18, something like that. But you'll see that on, all their clothing labels. And also, I mean, the signature kind of patch on the inside, the replica patch. It's funny, if you're familiar with like Margiela at all, they also have the replica line of fragrances, of which I'm also a big fan. And that label is basically on the sides of the bottle. Big fan of By the Fireplace, except it lasts on me about 5 minutes, so maybe not the best bang for your buck, but it smells good. Jazz Club, also a good one, but this is not a review of fragrances. In terms of features, I mean, they look like a classic German Army Trainer. Again, you'll see a lot of knockoffs of these nice suede, gray suede hits around the toe box there that kind of creep up in this nice side paneling here. The materials, I mean, the suede seems nice. I remember when I first got them, I didn't think the leather seemed like super supple or anything. Like, especially commanding the cost, like you kind of want something that's like, no, it's so buttery. They're fine. What I think you're really going for is just, this is the classic GAT. One thing I will say about the imitators, things like, again, the Adidas GATs, they're kind of the original in a way. But those, Beckett Simonon, I think, makes a knockoff of these. Not a knockoff, an interpretation, because these are a knockoff. They're called the replicas, for God's sake. I guess I kind of feel like if you're going to get one, go big or go home. Because I think the Beckett ones, if I'm remembering correctly, are like 200, something like that. The Adidas ones I think are more like 100, 120, something like that. I will say these can get up there for sure. In fact, they're spiking more and more every day. Wait for a good deal on these. I think I got them on Satire for like $350, something like that. I may be wrong. Satire has goated sales, but like I've seen these creep up into like the 500s, 600s. Please don't pay that. You can get them for cheaper. I will say, actually, I find them a little harder to get on the used market, though, I feel like, unless they're absolutely destroyed. But again, if that's what you're ultimately going to wear them down to, then just get them like that. You know what I mean? Feels like they hold up pretty well. I'm noticing the little tag on here. I don't even know why I have this on here. It's a stupid sticker. I should probably just take that off, but whatever. In terms of things like comfort, they're fine. I've never had a problem walking around in these like all day. I've never like really pounded the pavement with them. There again, I'm wiping off like a little speck of dirt. I've never taken them like to New York and just walking. I'm walking here. I don't know what that was. I've never taken them to the city and just like, put 15,000 steps on them or something like that. But, I don't think you're going to complain. Are they the most comfortable shoe in the world? No. Are they uncomfortable? Absolutely not. So you'll be fine there. In terms of sizing, so I got these in a 43.5, which typically translates to a US 10.5, which is what I would consider to be my true size. So I'd say true to size, but that's not helpful because everyone's like, what does that mean? So to put it in other terms, I wear typically a Nike 10.5. So like Jordan 1s, kill shots, things like that. So whatever your kill shot size is, translate that to the EU size and go with that. So 10.5, 43.5, boom. If you were a 10 in kill shots, 43. And maybe I'll do a review of, a kill shot review would be even more useless than these. But kill shots are good. Get them. So I would wear my kill shots where I would wear these, but when it's raining, if that makes sense, because the kill shots are like, you can get them for like $50. Yeah, it's a really nice shoe. It's like I said, it's extremely versatile. I'd say you can wear them with a little bit more of a fashion-y fit, if that's a word. You can dress them up or dress them down. You could wear these totally casually in with jeans and a t-shirt. No one would know the wiser. Or you could probably, I don't know if I'd go past I don't really love sneakers with suits, to be honest with you. Anything other than like a plain white or plain black sneaker or something like that. And even that's getting into like, I don't know, tech bro space or something like that. But, I think because of the Margiela background, these have a little more cash to be able to wear them with something a little bit more edgy out there, inspired, if you will. Like I mentioned before, there's a lot of fakes of these. In the fact that everyone who's posting legit checks, most of them seem to be fake. I'm not the best legit checker of these, but I guess it's the kind of thing where if you see enough pictures of them, you start to get a sense for what's real and what's not. The one thing I see a lot on these, I feel like, is this panel here, this toe box, being really, really long in a lot of the fakes. Like extending the suede, extending up into the shoe way too much. So that's something to watch out for. The other thing about the shoe is that there's tons of variants of it. So while this is the kind of classic, this white and gray paneled look, obviously there's the ones with the paint splatter all over it, which they're cool. I'm personally not the biggest fan of, but that one seems to be faked a lot. And the saving grace of that is I've heard someone say like no one ever gets the paint right. So maybe that's an easy one to legit check. I'd like to believe in a world where I could wear like a bunch of these on any given Sunday. Like they make them in a kind of blush color or whatever. Like that'd be cool. Throw that on. Every season they kind of do like a bunch of different ones. The one that I almost freaking grabbed, and they're still up somewhere, but I don't think I'm ever going to get them, is, Margiela loves to do like paint coated stuff. They had these they're like a black undercoat with like a white striped paint. They look so cool. But I think I've probably missed my chance. And also, again, I'm not going to pay $500-$600 for them. But I saw them in the Margiela store. Funny thing about the sizing, the Margiela, if you're a half size, when I went to the store, I wanted to try them on to see how they fit before I pulled the trigger. And the sales associate was like, yeah, we don't make half sizes. And I was like, that's not true. I've seen them. But I didn't want to make I did mention it, and he was like, yeah, well, some retailers will get them, but in the stores we don't have. So that's kind of weird. You actually get a better chance of getting your half sizes if you go like to Essence or something like that than the actual Margiela store. You can probably special order them or something. Maybe on the website they have them. But in any case, I would say true to size, just because I tried the ones that were a half size down and they were hurting my feet. You could maybe go a half up. I think there's been occasional times where I felt like these are a tiny bit small, but I'm very toe box sensitive, so true to size. Go true to size. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I'd really say about these. I think they're a great shoe. They're a really good staple shoe. And if you're trying to like elevate your closet in a way where like you want your staples to be quality pieces, this is a really good one to get. Also, the Common Project's Achilles low. I don't care if it's hated on now or whatever. And the Kill Shots. Those three I have stacked up in my closet. Boop, boop, boop. And I alternate between them. But they're all kind of versatile and they fill a similar niche. So niche. So yeah, if there's anything else I can help you with or answer, throw it in the comments. I can respond to that stuff. But it's a classic shoe. It's a great silhouette. And splurge on it. Not to the extent that you're paying $500-$600. It's insane. But like, if you find a good sale, I'd say they're worth having in your closet. Made in Italy. Beautiful. But yeah, that's the Margiela GATs, German Army trainers, replicas, whatever you want to call it. Again, don't forget to drop a like and please do subscribe, and catch you in the next review, video, whatever.